Good evening, and thank you for watching. My name is Gary Grado, and I'll be the moderator for this evening's debate. The Citizens Clean Elections Commission is a sponsor for this event. As the state's voter education agency, Clean Elections hosts debates so voters have the opportunity to hear directly from the candidates, ask questions on the issues that matter most to them, and vote informed. Candidates that have a contested general election have been invited to participate in the debate. Candidates that have opted into the Clean Elections Clean Funding Program are required to participate, while traditional candidates are invited and encouraged to attend. Please note, candidates from both the House and Senate may be participating in the debate tonight. As the moderator, I will ensure candidates have the opportunity to engage directly with their respective opponents. And the questions that will be asked this evening are coming directly from voters. Leading up to the debates, Clean Elections conducted outreach to voters across the state, soliciting questions for the candidates. Voters that are watching this debate live, you can submit a question at any time by either email at debates@kc-a.com. You can do text at 928-362-1062, or by phone at 480-937-1297. Please specify if your question is for a specific candidate or for all candidates. And we screen questions for clarity to eliminate duplication, speeches, or personal attacks on candidates. This debate, which is actually a Q&A, is scheduled for 30 minutes. So we may not get to all audience questions, but we will do our best. Candidates, you have 1 minute for your opening and closing statements and 1 to 2 minutes for your responses to voter questions. We encourage an open exchange of dialogue between opponents. If you feel the need to respond to another candidate's comments, you may do so. I may limit responses for time management purposes, and we remind the candidates in the audience that this is a respectful, courteous, and professional environment. Our goal tonight is to connect candidates and voters so our electorate may
Gary's frozen up on me.
Running for the State House in Legislative District 1 is Judy Stahl, Democrat. And Judy, the floor is yours for a couple minutes.
Thank you very much, Gary. And good evening, everyone out there who is tuning in. I'd like to thank the Citizens Clean Elections Commission and all who are involved in the creation of this event tonight. I'm honored to have the opportunity to share with you about who I am. Again, my name is Judy Stahl. I am the Democratic nominee for Arizona State House for Legislative District 1, which you all may know is the most conservative district in the state by the numbers. And for me, what is important are the concerns that we all share as Arizonans and as Americans. And I'm honored to have received the nomination, even though I am running single shot, which is how I'd like you all to vote for me and leave the other possible vote blank. I ended up with many thousands of votes in the primary, many more than what we've gotten as Democrats in this district in the past. I have a viable campaign. We are raising money, and the issues that I stand for are aligned with my values, which I believe are our shared American values. I want to make sure that we have fully funded public education, that we have access to affordable health care for everyone, and that we are able to have economic prosperity with environmental responsibility in my district. And underlying all of that is my commitment to social justice and making sure that everyone is treated with dignity and respect, regardless of color, religion, socioeconomic background, or sexual identity and gender identity, sexual orientation. So that's a little bit about me. I am very enthusiastic to respond to your questions and to learn from you. So thank you for being here tonight, and I'm open, I'm ready and willing.
We've got a few voter questions, and before we get to them, I just got to ask you, what would drive somebody, a Democrat, to run in one of the most red districts in the state?
It's a great question, Gary. And the truth of the matter is, I have lived here for over 28 years. I've raised my children here. I've run a business here. And I have volunteered here for everyone from homeless women to our local Center for the Arts, acting on stage, singing and dancing, and also working backstage. So I just love my community, and I am interested in making sure that my home is a place where my children, my grandchildren, and all of our children and grandchildren can come back to and know that it really is a place that welcomes everyone and where everyone can make a living and have a beautiful, safe, thriving existence. So many of the people who are going to vote for me are conservative Republicans. They describe themselves as conservative Republicans, but they know me. They've known me for years. I've taught them in classes. I have worked with them. I have, as their therapist, helped them to heal from conditions of mind, body, and emotions. So I am a trustworthy person, and I am just enthusiastic to bring balance to my district, to allow for full representation in my district in LD1. And I am absolutely committed to representing everyone in my district, whether they are a Democrat, Republican, independent, non-voter. I will be the representative for everyone. My hashtag on Twitter is stall for all.
Okay, Judy, thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and go to some of these questions from the voters. The first one is, short-term rentals like Airbnb and VRBO have become a huge problem in our area. State law SB 1350 allows unlimited occupancy at STRs, excuse me, so crowds and noise often get out of hand. SB 1350 also took away our single-family zoning, so the local police and town council say they can't do anything about it. Do you support restrictions on STRs for how many people are allowed and what goes on there? And do you support reinstating local zoning for STRs to address the many nuisances they cause?
Yes and yes. For me, what matters in our communities is that we are able to actually have communities where we know our neighbors, where our children are able to go outside and play safely, and where we care about each other. I've heard some of the horror stories of giant parties happening and giant messes left and all hours of the night. And look, I was young once, and I have a lot of young people on my team, and young people seem to support my campaign, thankfully. So I know that we all want to have fun, but there needs to be a concern and consideration for neighborhoods. I really support in every instance possible local control and local decision making regarding short-term rentals and how this works in each of our communities. I think the more that people get together and discuss these issues, even if it's a difficult conversation, the better we are. So local is better.
Okay. So this one might be close to your heart because this is a very local question. What, if anything, can be done at the state level to protect sites like Granite Dells from industrial encroachment?
So our beautiful Granite Dells, if you all out there listening in have not been to my town of Prescott and visited our beautiful Granite Dells, I encourage you to do so. The Granite Dells are iconic. They are irreplaceable, and they're the home for many, many species, both of plants and of animals, who enhance the quality of our life here and protect our natural environment and give us a robust, vibrant environment, natural environment here that brings thousands and thousands and thousands of visitors to this community and our district every year. There has been for several years now discussions between community group called Save the Dells with the Prescott City Council, along with Arizona Eco Development. And in recent months, there has been a coming together, finding some way to protect the rights of owners of private property without at the same time allowing this iconic, beautiful natural wonder to be ruined by sight of developments all around it, including running a road right through part of the heart of the Dells. So with that discussion, it does appear that we're going to be able to protect a terrifically gorgeous, the heart of the Dells. And with that, we want to also, I actually will plan to, when elected, to continue the work that Representative Noel Campbell, our current state rep from LD1, has held close to his heart, which was creating a regional state park that would be around the Dells, that would enhance and protect that gorgeous area so that you don't have this natural area, but you can hear and see the houses nearby. So a bit of a buffer zone that would really, for perpetuity, make Prescott, would allow Prescott to continue to be this place that has this beautiful natural environment that we all can enjoy. It's one of the reasons why people move here, is for the absolute beauty of the environment. And so I will work to bring forward the concept and a bill for the state regional park that was moving forward in the 2020 legislative session, but then got stopped by the COVID virus and didn't get brought up again. So that is what can be done, and that is what I will do.
Okay. I think you have a fan out there, Judy, because this one is specifically for you. I don't think the people knew that the other candidates would not be here tonight. Do you believe public dollars should stay in public schools? And I'm assuming that they're talking about empowerment scholarships.
Thank you, Gary. My number one issue is fully funding public education in Arizona. In our Arizona state constitution, the language says that we will have a general, the state will provide a general and uniform public education. To me, uniform means like what I wore when I was in Catholic school as a small child. Everybody wore the same thing. Everybody had the same opportunity. And while I do think that there are some uses for some of the vouchers that have been put forward in Arizona, the ESAs, overall, what needs to happen is that we need to make sure that we provide significant funding. It is the job of the state legislature to figure out this very complex topic of how to make sure that we provide a general and uniform public education for all of our children in Arizona, regardless of their zip code, regardless of whether or not they live in a district where they're able to run a bond or an override and provide extra funding that way through the local districts. We at the state legislature have got to get a handle on the fact that we are at this point in time absolutely at the bottom, either 48th, 49th, or 50th in terms of per pupil spending in Arizona. So while I think that it would be wonderful if we could provide funding for for private school students and for extras, I'm not interested in that until we provide first for our public education system. And I can tell you that in my district, Humboldt Unified School District has brought forward an override, a bond, and Prescott Unified School District is bringing forward a bond, and I support both of those. But it should not be left to each individual district to have to figure this out year in and year out. This is something that the legislature must address, and it is absolutely number one for me, because we're not going to have a healthy state. We're not going to have a healthy economy if we're not making sure that we are a place where children can get a great education to set them off into the world.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did I hear you say that there are some uses for vouchers?
I think that there have been some uses for vouchers, but I think that it has been warped. And I think that what needs to happen is that we need to have new leadership at the state legislature. We need to have legislators who are not there to put forward their own interests and to provide just for the folks who they think should be getting a great education. We need to make sure that our children who are in the struggling districts, that they have equal education. So, some of the reasons why we have provided funding has been for special education students. But what we need to do is we need to make sure that special education students are cared for and provided for within our public education system. I could go on, but.
Okay. I think you answered the question. So on to the next voter question. Arizona currently excuses tax collection from large corporations in the form of tax credits or loopholes. This equates to money not collected, which could pay for services or programs. Do you believe we should start to plug some of these loopholes? If yes, how do we realistically start the process to require companies to pay their fair, but still encourage companies to come to Arizona? And if no, why?
Yes, I think we need to close these loopholes. And Arizona is a state where people are moving to. People want to be in Arizona. We are one of the top growing states in the nation. So we should be able to gather the revenues from all the people here to provide for what we need to take care of public education and the responsibilities of the state. When corporations want to come to Arizona, wouldn't it be wonderful if they want to come here not just to come in and provide jobs and make a profit, but to make sure that they are contributing to our society in the ways that we require for the folks who are already here and for everyone. So yes, I am. Yes, I think that the loopholes need to be closed. I think that the difficult conversations need to take place. But for me, a lot of this ends up being common sense. And it requires having the conversations with the people who are making the decisions. I intend to be one of those decision makers and one of those individuals who can ask the questions about what is it that your corporation is bringing to the state and what are you getting from the state? And how can we make sure that this is balanced so that what we need for our communities to thrive will be provided more so by your presence rather than being taken away by your presence?
Now, some would say, though, that by providing jobs, especially the larger corporations and so forth, they are contributing to the community and so forth. I mean,
Oh, definitely. Oh, definitely. And I did say that, you're bringing jobs, which is great. So you're adding to the economy in that way. But for myself, it really seems that the economy has to be tied in with ethics. We have to care about the people who are here. We've got to make sure that it's a fair exchange. So whatever it is that we're doing to welcome corporations to our beautiful state, we have to make sure that that it's a fair exchange. Great jobs is one thing, and people make money with those jobs, and then they spend in our communities. But we need to make sure that our revenues are being we're fulfilling the needs that we have as a state to provide for the public good, the roads, the fire departments, the police departments, et cetera, et cetera. It's a mix between what we need to do through government and what we need to do through the private sector. And I'm happy to have those conversations and make sure that it's a win-win for everybody. A lot of times, Gary, when there's a compromise, not everybody is happy with the result, but at least everyone can say that they got something out of it. And that's what I'm committed to. I'm extremely practical. I will work with anyone to help move this state forward. And yes, I'm a Democrat, but for me, a lot of these things rise above party. I'm extremely concerned about what's going on in our state, in our country with the COVID virus. These things need to be addressed. These go above and beyond party, and they go to who wants to help Arizona be healthy and have great economic prosperity and move forward, and who's willing to have those difficult conversations and make the compromises where they need to be made. I will make those compromises, but I will never compromise on my personal values, which I believe most Arizonans and Americans share.
Thank you, Judy. Now, that's it for the voter questions that we've gotten. And if anybody's out there watching live, just remember that you can email your questions at debates@kc-a.com. You can text it to 928-362-1062, or you can phone them in at 480-937-1297. We have a staff of operators on call waiting for your call right now. I got a few questions for you myself. And, one of the things I was wondering is, being a Democrat up there in Prescott, I mean, where are you on the Democrat spectrum? Are you a progressive? I mean, how do you characterize yourself? Are you a progressive, moderate?
I would say that I am a person who is I would call myself a practical progressive. I hear people use the word liberal and make it sound like it's such an awful thing. But I don't know about all these labels. What I can tell you is that the people here who know me, and I know lots of people, they know who I am, that I am authentic, that I am fair-minded, and that I want to find, where do we come together? Where do we meet? So I am willing to be flexible, I guess, in terms of the conversations that I'm happy to have. I understand that we want to be safe, that people want to be safe. I want to make sure that our large population of retirees knows that my campaign is running in a way where we are running a fully virtual campaign still, because we want to protect their lives, because I believe that public health comes first. And when we take care of public health, then we can really safely open the economy, open our educational system, and get out and be involved in social engagement. So I'm a very practical person in that way. I've been working in healthcare since 1978. My family, I will have you know, I come from a Republican family. My grandfather was a captain in the United States Navy. He was a Lincoln Scholar and an assistant attorney general in the state of Illinois. He was the national commander of the American Legion. So I believe that my values tie in with the values of what I would call the classic Republican Party. And I think that that is what most of the Republicans in my district are moderate Republicans who've been friends of mine, who I've volunteered with in the schools, and we share the same values. I don't see it as being a great difference. We all want the same things. We want our families to be safe. We want our children to have a great education. We want to live in this great free country and be able to make a living. I do think it's important to recognize, and this has come up in recent weeks in my town, and I realize that my district goes down into Maricopa. I'm so grateful for my supporters in Anthem and New River and Cave Creek and Carefree. but Prescott really kind of is the center of the district. It's the crown jewel of Arizona, and we're dealing with some of the same issues that are going on around the country. I think it's very important that we have straight conversations, that we find facts that we can agree on, and then we look and see what do we agree on and how can we move forward. So that's who I am, and I've got tremendous support from many Republicans here, even folks who absolutely describe themselves as conservative Republicans.
Okay, thank you, Judy. And we do have someone out there who's watching, and they have sent in a question. Thank you. And so here we go. Judy, we're in a healthcare crisis due to COVID-19. What experience do you have that prepares you for leadership in this healthcare crisis? And what is your vision for healthcare in Arizona?
Thank you for the question. I am a person who has worked in healthcare since 1978. 5 of those years, while I was working my way through college, I was working at the University of Iowa hospitals and clinics, and I worked on the pediatric oncology ward. So I've worked with dying children and their families. I myself am a breast cancer survivor. I know that it is the things that you cannot see that can make you sick and can kill you. And so I am not going to take this COVID-19 virus lightly in any way. I do not think that we've had the leadership that we needed, and we still don't. And while Arizona, which was a hotspot a few months ago, has decreased in the number of cases, there are still scads and scads of people, certainly in my district, who don't find it necessary to wear a mask. And we know if you follow the science, and I absolutely follow the science, we know that masks help to protect others, and we're now learning that masks help to protect us. So that even if I'm wearing a mask and you are not, and you've got the virus and I'm exposed to it because you're not wearing a mask, that it will decrease the amount of virus that gets into my system, and I would perhaps then have an asymptomatic case or a less virulent case. So there are many things that can be done. I would absolutely coordinate and cooperate with all of the healthcare leaders and the leaders in our state, coordinate so that we can take care of folks, make sure that we are safe to move forward. Sadly, Gary, what's going on now with people talking about having a virus out before it's really gone through all of its paces makes it so that people then doubt the effectiveness of a vaccine. And it's important that when we do get an effective vaccine, that the great majority of folks take that vaccine in order for it to be effective. So I'm very concerned about, for myself, as a massage therapist in private practice, I've had my practice shut down for over 6 months now. Luckily, I have other things that I do. I have a master's in counseling, so I'm working with clients on Zoom and on the phone. But it's a very difficult environment that we're in, and we need to follow the science. We need to respect the experts. I don't know where it came from that we should not listen to the experts. We need to respect the work that they've done, and we need to care about everyone. In my district, that matters a lot because we've got a lot of seniors in my district.
I'm sure it's been tough having to shut down your business. Do you accept it, or should the governor have done something else?
The governor should have done something else.
Uh-huh.
The governor should have taken strong action right from the start. Right from the top. I mean, right from the top of our nation, we did not do what we needed to do. I turned to Jacinda Ardern in New Zealand, who told her citizens in an open and or upfront manner, in a transparent manner, right at the beginning. She said, we're going to hit it hard and we're going to hit it early. And I can't really do a Kiwi accent very well, but that's what needed to happen, is that we needed to have our leaders share with us the truth not worry about whether we're going to be panicked and not worry about what the boss is doing, but the governor should have paid attention to what the citizens of Arizona needed, and he should have shut us down. And if we had done that in a thorough and uniform way, we would have then been able to slowly open up if we had the appropriate testing, contact tracing, and cooperation from our citizens. And when people understand that you're telling them the truth and you're giving them the good reasons why we need to do what we need to do, then most good people will care about each other and will be willing to take that action. We didn't have a mandate. We needed a mandate. Now it may be too late to put out a mandate because the virus is so widespread. But we do need people to understand the science and to care about their fellow citizens. And it really needs to come from leadership. We did not have that. I will bring that leadership when elected.
All right, here we have another question. How do you plan on being accessible for voters to voice their issues and concerns to you? Often politicians are disconnected from the real needs of the community.
Well, what I can tell you is that I've shown up here tonight, which is more than I can say, sadly, for my two Republican opponents in this race. I am here. I am willing. I am on the phone virtually every day, running a campaign that is, I am fighting to win a seat to represent you in this district. And I know that when elected, I will be representing citizens throughout the state of Arizona because I will be voting on matters that matter to all of us throughout the state. So what I can tell you is I will continue to be exactly who I am right now. I am Judy Stahl. I am authentic. I've got a strong voice. I am committed to representing you well. I am able to listen. I will listen, and I will take into account what everyone has to say, because frankly, I am running a race where we are raising money, which is not something that Democrats have much done in this district. Mostly they have run clean elections. And while I respect the clean elections, the Citizens Clean Elections Commission, and I voted for it, I wanted to give myself every chance to win this race. And that meant I needed to reach out and raise the money that I needed to raise in order to do the direct mail marketing, to get my name out, to get my voice out, to get what I stand for out to the voters and to listen to them. Just yesterday, I had conversations with folks in my district who are Republicans, who are independents, who have different views than I do, but we were able to have those conversations. And at the end of the conversation, I was able to say, thank you so much for giving me your time today. So even though one of them said, I have different views from you and I'm not going to vote for you, he also said to me at the end of our conversation, you as well, have a good evening. And that is what I will do. So what you see is what you get. Anyone who knows me will tell you that I am upfront, that I am optimistic, that I am hopeful, that I believe in this country and in our state and in my district, and that we all want to move forward and that we can move forward together if we can have civil conversations with each other. So I will be there for you. You can call me, you can email me, you can reach out to me. But as you can see, I am the candidate, the only candidate running for State House for LD1 who showed up tonight willing to be here in front of you and answer your questions. And I do hope that you will vote for me single shot to give me a chance to win, because we're going to get one of my two opponents. One of my two opponents is going to win because there are 2 seats to be elected. But when you get your ballot, you don't have to vote for 2. You can choose to vote for me and choose to not vote for anyone else. And that is perfectly acceptable, legal. It is your right. And it is, frankly, the only way that I win, given the numbers in this district. So I ask for your vote and go to judystahl.com and reach out and let me know what you need. That's who I am.
Okay, Judy, we got a couple more questions and we'll be wrapping it up here. This one is a follow-up to your previous question. I think you already answered the question. How do you compare to the other candidates in this race in terms of accessibility?
Oh, well, as you can see, I'm right here.
Okay.
I'm right here with you. We are reaching out every day on the phone. You can go to my website at judystall.com and reach out and ask for questions. We are inviting folks to, if you don't know me, we're inviting you to set up, oh, it's so weird, the camera. We're inviting you to set up a meet and greet so that I can answer questions of folks. We're setting up fundraisers for those who want to support me in getting elected. I am as accessible as I can possibly be in this COVID environment. So, as I say, where are my opponents? I have not received any reach out from them. Where are they? Are they just expecting that they're going to win because the numbers in this district are so highly Republican? I do ask for my Republican friends who want to see fairness brought to our state legislature to vote for me, because I am a Democrat, but my concerns go above and beyond party, and I will represent the folks in my district when elected. I have to.
Okay. And are schools making wise decisions in opening, even on a hybrid scale? And message here, thank you for being there.
You bet. And let me tell you, my children are grown. I've got two adult children. And the fact of the matter is that I don't know, I think that the real heroes in our world right now are our parents and our teachers. I think the parents have realized during the lockdown and trying to teach, while working from home, and making sure that their children are educated, I think they're realizing the difficult, the challenging job that teachers have. And, I come from a family, I've been in healthcare my whole life, but both of my sisters were educators. And so I've got their wisdom for me. I think it was I think it was just plain wrong that the governor did not take action and show leadership so that our superintendents, our school boards, our teachers, and our individual schools were left to figure out how to open schools safely in the middle of a worldwide pandemic that is only, we haven't had for 100 years. So I am amazed and I admire the ingenuity, the effort that schools have put forth to make sure that children can attend school, 2 days a week with social distancing. I mean, how do you get 7 and 8-year-olds to wear a mask all the time and social distance? It just doesn't make sense to me. And so I really honor what schools have been trying to do, but they've been put in a position that they never, ever should have been put in. This should have been done from the top. This is one of those things where we needed leadership from the top. And sadly, it just has not been there. So I honor the schools who are attempting to bring children back safely, and I fear for them at the same time.
All right, and the last question, Judy, is how can people get involved in the campaign and support you virtually?
Oh, that is so wonderful. Well, I'm happy to tell you that the main thing that we need to do at this point is make sure that my name is spread far and wide within Legislative District 1. So you can go to my website, please, at judystall.com and sign up for one of our phone banks. Now, this is what I have to say about phone banks. Nobody is thrilled about getting on the phone and calling people, to talk necessarily, to people who are tired from work or whatever about a campaign. It's not anyone's favorite thing to do, and yet it works. It really works. So I would ask you please to join on our phone banks. In fact, on Monday, this past Monday, September 14th, which was 50 days before the general election, my team put together a phone bank where it was called the hashtag Stall for All 50 for 50 phone bank extravaganza with an exclamation point, which my team knows I don't like to use exclamation points too much. But we did on this, and we had 51 people, all phone banking, using a program that we got that allowed us to reach out to. We made phone calls to over 8,600 voters in LD1. That is what we're able to do because of our fundraising and because we're committed to reaching out to everyone and getting my name out there. So I would ask you to join a phone bank of ours or all of our phone banks. We have 4 every week to get my name out to everyone. Even if you call folks and they hang up, you know, that's okay. Don't take it personally. This is a time to have a little bit of a thick skin and realize that this really works. So you can also donate to my campaign. We have a secure Act Blue, a link on the front page of my website at judystahl.com. And we need to raise thousands of dollars still to pay for our direct mail marketing, which also is what we're going to use to win. And then what else I need you to do is I need you to share with everyone. I need you to be pebbles on the pond for me and share with everyone the importance of voting for me, Judy Stahl, for LD1, and voting for me single shot, meaning you vote for Judy and you leave those other 2 possible votes blank. In that way, I need you to know, I need you to believe that we can win. I know that we can. I am a strong candidate. I care about my district. I care about my state. I care about our future. So please help me to win. Thank you.
All right on. Thank you very much. And this concludes our debate, or I should say our Q&A. Judy, thank you so much for participating. And to the voters, we thank all of you who took the time to watch the debate and inform yourselves before the November 3rd election. The Citizens Clean Elections Commission is your source for nonpartisan voter information. And we encourage you to visit azcleanelections.gov for all of your voting needs. Thank you once again, and have a good night.
Thank you.